Grand Rising, all kings and queens, all gods and goddesses, all beautiful people. I am Be Floss the God, and today I just want to speak about how often should you affirm or perform your imaginal acts in order to manifest your every desire. Alright? How often should you affirm or perform your imaginal acts in order to manifest your every desire? Okay, now in the story, in the biblical story of Jacob, when it speaks about Jacob wrestling with the angel, and I think that was in Genesis, I think chapter 32. I can't remember the verse exactly though, but you can do your research. Genesis chapter 32. I'm more sure that was the scripture, right? Where it speaks about Jacob wrestling with the angel. Alright, and again, the Bible is all secular history, it's all a metaphor, it's all psychological. You know, the whole drama is taking place within you and I, right? It's not actual people who existed back then, right? Those events were not actual events that actually took place in the physical, right? The whole drama is taking place within you and I. All right, and the word Jacob, it means supplanter. All right, meaning you have a desire to become other than what you are right now, other than what your senses deny. Right, so let's say you're poor right now when you have a desire to become rich. Right, that is you being Jacob, being the supplanter. You have a desire to become something other than what you are right now. Right, now when it says Jacob wrestled with the angel, right, or God, or man, because it's the same thing. God is man, man is God. All right. Now when it says Jacob wrestled with God, right, our own I amness, right, it's meaning that he was trying to feel himself into the wish fulfilled, right, whether through his imaginary acts or speaking affirmations, trying to feel himself into the wish fulfilled. All right. And in that story, it said when he was wrestling with the angel, when the angel realized that he was losing against Jacob, he told him to let him go. The angel told Jacob to let him go, and Jacob said, "No, not until you bless me. You know, not until you bless me." And eventually, the angel did bless Jacob. All right, long story short. So from there, right there in that story, that's what it's telling you. It's telling you affirm, perform your imaginary acts until you feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So even if it takes you 1,000 times, then do it. All right. Now, for those of you who would have ever who have ever meditated in your life, you know that like after you finish your meditation, when you come out of it, like you tend to feel different. You feel like a whole different person. Like your vibe, your mood, your attitude, like everything just changes. Like you feel more at peace. You feel more at bliss. And that's how you know that you have meditated successfully when you reach that point, right? No, like any other thing in this world, like let's say for instance, I'm going to use a child for example. When a child first gets a toy, he's all happy and excited with it for the first couple of days. Then as time goes by, it's like with the toy now, it's like whatever. It's like he doesn't really care about it, because it's not new to him anymore, you know. So it's like you all words or affirmations, our imaginary acts. It's kind of like the same way. It's kind of similar, when you first start speaking certain words for the same thing, it might tend to feel strange, right? And then we get into it now, you start to feel the thrill and the joy. And then as time goes by, once you continue repeating that particular phrase, it's like the words now start to lose their power, so to speak. It tends to kind of get like kind of boring then, right? Because the more you do it, right, the more you do it, the more you will the more you will feel it. All right, and that goes with speaking your words and creating your imaginal acts. Your imaginal scenes. The more you do something, right, the more you will feel it. All right. So how often you should affirm and how often you should do your imaginal acts. Do it as much. Do it as many times as you can. Until you actually feel it. So when you speak your affirmations and you feel that thrill and that joy, like continue to speak it until you feel it. And then when you actually feel it now, you just drop it. You know, you just drop it for that moment. For that moment, they will call it what they call it now. It's like impotency. It's like self-impregnation, right? You have self-impregnated yourself, right? Walking in the wish fulfilled. All right, for that very moment. Now, as time goes on, now say that you did it in the morning time, like during the day now, like the opposing thoughts, may tend to creep back in. So what you do? Don't waste time. You go back into your imaginal acts again or your affirmations and you speak it, right? Because you want to keep yourself into that state for the most part of the wish fulfilled. You want to make that your most dominant state. All right. So you do your imaginal acts and you speak your affirmations. You do it over and over again until you feel it. So if your affirmation is "I am perfectly healthy," you repeat that until you feel it. I am perfectly healthy. I am perfectly healthy. I am perfectly healthy. And the more you center yourself and the more you actually speak it and feel it, you will feel like the emotions within you like start to rise. It will start to rise from the bottom straight up to the top, to the peak into your kingdom. You start to feel like that thrill. I am perfectly healthy. I am perfectly healthy. And the more you continue to see that, the deeper you go into it, the more depth you go into it, rather than at the surface. The more you go into the depth, the more, and the quicker you will feel it, and the quicker you will get into the state of the wish fulfilled as well. And the more you do that, and the more that you feel the thrill, after a while you will realize now, like the words again, like start to lose their power, and like you don't have no desire or urge to repeat it anymore, right? That means it is done. All right. At that present moment, you have no urge to repeat it anymore, right? So then when you come out of it now, it's like, yeah, okay, you have successfully impregnated yourself with the desire. All right, you already have it now at that present moment. And as I said before, as time goes on, you might get those opposing thoughts coming back in later on. You go back and you do it again just to keep yourself into that state. All right, the same thing with your imaginal acts. All right, you do it over and over until you feel it, until you come to that point where like, yes, I got this, I feel it. And you don't have the urge anymore to perform the act. Right? It's like having sex. You know, you're having sex, you're having fun, you're enjoying yourself. Then when you climax or you have an orgasm or whatever the case might be, right after that, after you have climax and have your orgasm, you don't have the urge to have sex anymore. Right now at that present moment. Maybe you might go again an hour or two after. But right after you have climax or have an orgasm, there's no urge or need, like for sex anymore. You feel relaxed, you feel satisfied. Right? And performing your imaginal acts and your speaking your affirmations is kind of like a physical act too. It's like a physical sexual act too as well. Just you're doing it mentally. Right? So when you're speaking and you're imagining and you're feeling that thrill, that is the act. You're performing the act right there. Right? And when you finish and you feel it, you release. And you're pregnant. You have self-impregnated yourself consciously with that desire. Right? And if you can keep yourself in that state every time that you have an opposing thought coming in and you go back to it, you will see quickly in the near future your desire starts to manifest. Right? And even before that, you will start to see signs as well. Because everything is advancing into the future rather than going back into the past. And if man can be more conscious of this, he will try and make his best efforts to be more conscious of the words he speaks and his thoughts. You know what I mean? Because everything is advancing into the future. That's why every day I'm trying to create the best version of myself. Every single day. And I know for a fact what my future is like, depending on my thoughts and my words. And I'm looking to create the best future for myself and my loved ones, and for any person that they can help. Alright? So often you should affirm or imagine. As the Bible says, 70 times 7. And 7 represents the sword, like a fixed vision. It doesn't necessarily mean 490 times. You just do it until you feel it. Alright? And you continue to persist in it every single day. So if you do it right now and you feel it, and you drop it, you feel good, just go about your day. And just do whatever you have to do. It's when like those opposing thoughts come in now. Furthermore, you don't even have to wait till the opposing thoughts come. Like, you do it the morning time, the afternoon time, you can go back again. Not doing it out of worry or doubt, but just do it for the fun of it and just to keep yourself into that state. And then the night time before you sleep, you can do it again. Right? So just persist in it every single day. Daily. You can do it multiple times a day. How many times you want. But for my advice, do it at least 3 times a day. Your affirmations and imaginal acts, at least. Alright? So with all that being said, I am Beef Lost to God, sending you love, peace, joy, prosperity, and blessings as usual. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, feel free to do so now. Feel free to like, feel free to comment, feel free to share my videos. Alright? Peace and love, and happy manifesting.